love in your heart and hold your head high.
Welcome to the Let That Go show with Kassira, McKee and Richard Skipper. This show is based on Kassira's book, Let That Go, where she guides people in completely blessing and releasing people, places, and all kinds of things. Kassira and Richard share personal insights and experiences based on concepts in Kassira's book, with guests and you, their co-hosts. Are you ready to let that go? Let's go.
Happy Sunday, Kassira.
Hello. Hi, guys. Where's Aaron?
I was going to bring him on in a moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Here he is.
Okay, great.
Here he is.
Hello,
Hi,
darling.
darling.
It's nice
Hi.
to see you as well.
Hello,
Kassira.
love. Hello.
Hello. Welcome,
Isn't this full
everyone.
moon? Isn't the full moon gorgeous? Have you seen it, Aaron?
Not tonight.
Oh my God. So beautiful. So full and clear.
Yes.
And I'm like, yes, because it's my ruling planet. And I said, finally, I require this energy. I require this full moon energy. Now, I texted you. I texted both of you. I didn't hear from you, Richard, yet I texted that I felt exhausted and basically overcommitted, but really exhausted. And Aaron said, oh, you're feeling the energy of the full moon. Aaron, do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, we'll get started into that in a second here. Let's see, I had some notes here too. Yeah, okay, so we are in a Leo full moon, which occurred at 10. It's intense. It's extremely intense. And what
it is.
I heard today from one of the astrologers I was listening to online, one of my favorites.
Can you turn your mic up, Aaron? Aaron,
giant boulder.
Aaron, can you turn your mic up a little bit?
Oh,
you have that lovely low tempered voice that just kind of gets philosophy. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay, go ahead.
I didn't do anything yet, but okay. I know. That's what we're talking about. This particular like glitch of energy is related to Uranus T-squaring the full moon. So we have the moon, the sun and the moon, and then we have Uranus like this, creating a lot of friction, a lot of tension, a lot of surprises, a lot of
the surprises.
Shocking surprises. Like think of electricity.
Would you say that those shocking things are also revelations?
Yes. It depends on how you
elaborate on that?
You know? So we can use electricity to light. We drive our cars with it. So we use it. We can harness it. We have to utilize it as it's intended to be used. Now think of lightning striking. Lightning striking is erratic and you just don't know where it's going to hit. So we have all of that right now. So it depends on how much resistance we individually put up against this energy that we're in. The more resistance, the more problematic. I'll say the more lessons we'll have to learn about ourselves.
I don't like the word problematic.
No, I rephrased it. The more lessons we'll have to learn about ourselves. We have the opportunity to learn a lot right now.
Exactly. And you know, we have these revelations and we go, what? Where did that come from? And it's a little shocking sometimes. And we go, oh, okay. Oh, that's what's going on. You, Aaron, as we've been friends for a zillion years, you explained that to me about a week ago. You helped me discover some revelations that I had. And I so thank you for that because, I'm a really benevolent person and I really make efforts to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You know that old Pebble song, giving you the benefit of the doubt. Remember that song? Trying to work it out, work it on out. Yeah. And so I realized that there were some things that I was just kind of milking over. And this full moon has opened my eyes It
Yes.
really has opened my eyes about some relationships, work, and thank you for that, Aaron. Thank you so much for that opportunity of revelation. Examining the snow moon, I see that it's our last moments of clarity and intention before winter turns to spring. In Nichiren Buddhism, do you remember this, Aaron? We constantly talk about winter always turns to spring.
Yes.
It may be early,
Mhm.
it may be late, yet winter always turns to spring. And the full moon is a kind of stirring and hibernation before the light presents itself.
Yeah.
It's also inner awakenings before we melt down and head into spring and full bloom. And it's also surrendering to the future. It's surrendering to what we believe we desire and require in the future. What do you have to say about that, Aaron?
Well, two things. First, astronomically, the sun is at its pretty much its closest to the Earth during this period, during our winter time, in the north. In the south, of course, that's in the southern part of the hemisphere, it's hotter. And for us, it's colder, but the moon is going to reflect, it has more photonic energy from the sun to reflect back in. So the light from the sun pierces through the snow and feeds this is from the article you sent me. This is part, but it also is a little bit of a what's deep within, and feeding, it's feeding the plant life and nourishing the soil underneath the snow, the snowpacks. We don't think of that because the covering on the top makes us think that it's complete, we can't see it, so light doesn't get in, but light does go through. The same happens within our own physical body. This light penetrates us, it feeds us and illuminates whatever is requiring illumination, for better or worse, for fun or not.
Exactly.
Now, the other thing too is that remember that the sun is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is like very childlike, very pioneering, very curious. My
moon's in Aquarius.
Yeah, all about freedom, And so this is where this energy is coming from, this free, just, wow, this is what I'm meant to do. This is exciting. Look where we're going, this progressive energy. The story of the water bearer, who saw that her village had to go to the river to clean, to, drink. And she had an idea and came back. And she had the idea and people thought she was crazy. Then she brought the idea back in its manifested state, and they're like, wow, you're brilliant, and she said, well, obvious, you just got to look at what's happening. And that's what we a lot of times we want to think of astrology as way out there, over there. No, we can look at our own lives right here and right now to see and then we can see it reflected not only in stars, but we can see it reflected in our friendships, our relationships, our sleep patterns are very, very erratic right now. If you are awakened at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's what I meant about revelations.
Yeah. So we're shining this inquisitive, freedom-loving light onto Leo, this Leo moon, and which is reflecting it back. And Leo says, "Ooh, where can we point this neat light?" So it also asks us to look at our own integrity. What is the most important thing?
Integrity. Thank you. Because it's good to see what one's integrity is while the snow is melting and we're blooming in spring. Because that integrity blooms into the flora of spring. Do you agree, Aaron?
Yeah. I do. I don't see much snow. I would say, Richard, you probably see a lot more snow.
Because yeah, well, you're in California. Oh, I see
I did
snow,
see
and of
some
course,
yesterday.
all
I
my,
went to
in all my family
Arrowhead
and
with a friend
friends.
and saw snow, but
Yeah, my friends in DFW are iced under constantly, and everybody, all my people in the South are iced over right now. Um, the other thing I'd like to point out about this moon is that I feel that
hmm.
as we awaken to the light of spring, we're able to throw out, if you will, things that aren't working for us. It's a really good time. We hear about spring cleaning all the time, yet there is such a thing as pre-spring cleaning, which I'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have these. I know a lot of people that have these things in mind, like, oh, I got to do this, and I got to get rid of that, and I got to do this, and I got to do that. We haven't done it yet. Yet, I think it's a really good idea to jumpstart before that light opens, and start doing some pre-spring cleaning. What do you think about that, Aaron?
Oh, I agree.
You've done that.
Pre-spring cleaning.
You've been fixing a lot of things, Mr. Aaron.
Yeah, I have. There's a lot of fixing, but I'm always fixing things. I'm always.
You're the Aquarian. You're the Pisces Aquarian fixer.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out what you said about the water bearer. I have a lot of guides, I believe, and angels and guardians. Ishel from the Mayan culture is my Mayan guardian. She is the water bearer for the Mayans. She's kind of an equivalent of the Aquarians. She carries a pot and she's always serving people water, which I find interesting about what you said. And as you know, my African Orisha is Yemaya, who some people call Yemaja, who is the goddess of water, oceans and springs. And I suppose it's time for them to get ready for when everything melts down to provide us with that flowing water.
Yes. Yep.
Richard, how do you feel about going into spring with the snow melting and going into spring?
Well, the odd thing is that here in New York, we have not had any snow this year. Of any significance in the New York City area. As a matter of fact, we broke a record this past week of the longest period in time without any snow. So, and it's very interesting. Today, I went out for yesterday when I got up, it was 2 degrees. And today, at the same time, it was 45 degrees. Gorgeous day and going out and everything. But this time of year, it's very interesting because February is the shortest month of the year. And yet, so much is packed into this month. And I do think of this month and the snow moon and everything as a preparation for the spring. I think of now as a time of getting, everything in order. I was reading about the full moon phase today, and it says it's make or break time. It's really this time of year. Animals store up, in the fall and everything for this time of year. And I think it's true of us as well, that if we are not in a time frame of preparing for what's ahead, it is going to be break time. And I don't mean take a break. I mean, it's like everything, basically not being in alignment with where I think we all should be at this time of year.
Well, should and could would be 2 different words. There are some people that just aren't there. They're just not going to do it. They live the same way they do day in and day out, which is fine. I'd like to say hello to hi Cherie, hi Alan, hi Aaron, Cherie, I love you. And hello, D. Hello, D's Enlightened Edits. How are you, sweetheart? No, you haven't been around. Hi, Aaron Kalev. Thank you so much for watching all the time. Natasha, how are you? And Frances. Hi, Frances. How are you? What do you have to say about this? I see that a lot of people have said they're already cleaning out, which is great. They're already cleaning out. Woohoo! Yay. Yeah, we're about to, because when the weather gets nice, who wants to spend time indoors cleaning out? Nobody. You want to enjoy your space and not be cleaning out when the weather is nice outside. We've had a few snowstorms this year in Santa Fe. However, during the day, it gets into the 50s, and I have to tell you, it's a little chilly, yet it feels good. It feels really, really good. It feels refreshing, I have to say. It feels refreshing after being, because at night it gets down into the 20s, man, and I'm not kidding. That's not a joke. Getting down to the 20s isn't a joke. What I'd like to ask you, Aaron, is all the conversations that we've had about this moon and what's going on right now. Would you like to say something about what's going on with the planets that we've talked about?
Let's see. There's some interesting stuff. I'll say continue to expect the unexpected, because we're just in it. We're in what some people are calling the emergence of, we've heard about let me put it this way. We heard about the Aquarian age. Well, we're approaching it. So things are shifting, changing, all about the future, all about things that aren't working. One of the aspects that had caught my attention was Mercury and Capricorn, and the bottom line is secrets will be revealed or shared. It's an interesting thing too. I'm listening to Thomas Miller on Fun Astrology on his podcast, and he goes through a series with a very well-known astrologer, Robert. Oh my God, his last name is escaping me now. But
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I can't remember it either. Sorry.
Love it. Yeah, that's fine. We love them, and it's really revealing to hear that each sign has a different secret. I'll say different type of secret that maybe another sign doesn't really, consider a big deal. We all have our particular makeup, and it's what makes the world interesting. This is why we jumped into this life, so that we could share the interesting things that people are doing, the interesting things that we could do. And right now we're seeing a lot of volatility, a lot of commotion, which allows us, the opportunity to make some changes and sneak in and get some stuff done.
Do you think that comes from the revelations we're having now?
Yeah, they're the same. They're reflective of each other.
Okay.
And so when we've seen the news, and we see the horrors that are still out there. We see the missteps by the people who are in charge. And you can watch the news. I'm not going to get into that stuff. Right. I see it too. But I'll say, okay. Then I look at myself and say, now what is my opportunity here to be responsible to myself, for myself, and to the people whom I'm interacting with? What can I do? How can I be a healing force instead of a hurting force? I forget how the phrase goes, but how can I, which side am I on there? And sometimes just walking away from the conversation, recentering, realizing, and this is the joke I like to say, sometimes we're just alive to talk about it. That's all there is to it. And it kind of releases some of the burden of that, and says,
we've talked about that. Yeah. I'd like to say congratulations to Natasha on her health. And I'd like to, hi, Francis. Thank you for saying you're okay. Let's see. D, thank you for recognizing my relationship with Michelle. That's been going on for many, many years, especially since I visited Cozumel several times. I know we miss D. Alan, hi, Kassira. Editing possessions is a seasonless opportunity to constantly get back to life enhancing, unencumbered basics, especially in a material world. You know, I have a friend coming over. One of my best friends lives here, and I have some decorative stuff. As a lot of you know, I'm moving back. I'm moving back to New Orleans next year, and I'm getting rid of anything remotely Spanish. So I have a friend coming over to take everything Spanish. I'm just
Wow.
giving it to her. Yeah, I'm just giving it to her. And I agree with you, Alan. Hey, thank you, Dee. And yeah, thank you, Alan. I don't you love the people that watch the show? God, I love the people that watch the show. Anyway, I'm wearing today. I'm wearing this turquoise tie necklace that was left to me by my step grandmother. My stepmother is Native American. She's about 75% Native American, and so is her mother. And my stepmother gifted me with several things that belong to my Native American grandmother, and I'm wearing one of them today. It's a turquoise just thing that you just tie, you know, around your neck, but it just feels darn good during this moon. I can't even tell you why. It just feels darn good, the turquoise. I think turquoise is really grounding.
Yeah.
It's really grounding, and it helps, especially since it's from a relative. It kind of adds to the sort of ethereal support we get from the other side. So my step grandmother, who was Native American, her name was Ruth. My step grandfather was a Hammond. That was the Irish part of his family, or Scottish. The rest of him was Native American. And I feel, and Dee's going to feel this when I talk about this. I know she is. I feel the energy coming from this turquoise right now from my native step grandmother and my grandfather while we're having this conversation. Alan says, "Oh, thank you, Danielle and Kassir. You're wonderful." Yes, Alan. Well, you have a way with words too, my love. So going into spring, let's talk about our plant. What are we letting go of, and what are we reaching for, Richard?
Expectations.
You're reaching for your expectations?
No, I'm letting go. I'm letting go of expectations.
Okay,
and,
great.
You know, as you know, I'm busy working on this new show.
Right.
And, you know, it's interesting. The original choice for the show had to drop out as my musical director, and I just said, okay, I accept that, and I'm open to whomever is going to come my way. And there were a few people, and there were obstacles circling around that. But the person who came through, someone said, you need to find the Barry Manilow to your Bette Midler. That's what you need to look for. And lo and behold, that person fell into my lap. It's someone that I've known since, you know, for 30 years. Someone that I would never have thought to have asked until he posted something the other day on Instagram, and a light bulb went off. And I reached out to see if he was available, and he said absolutely that he was available. And so I'm going to be doing the show here in my own backyard on the 12th of March, and then taking it to Washington, D.C. And a lot's coming up for me as I'm writing the script for the show, because there's no script for the show. I've got my mental outline, but the entire show is going to be based on questions that are presented to me from the audience. I'm working.
Oh, aren't you doing a new radio show?
No.
Oh, I saw that you were doing a show on WC something radio.
Oh no, that's been there for a long, long time.
Oh, I'm sorry,
All of these shows are archived and they show up on the radio station. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, you should have your own radio show, honey.
Well,
you should on a local something in New York or something. Yeah.
If it's meant to be, it will happen. I truly believe that, and that's not me being passive. I work daily for what needs to happen, but I believe that if it's meant to be, it will be.
Well, you use the same
Aaron,
technique that got you your musical director, and you just apply it there. You let go of all the expectation and say, well, what's supposed to fall into my lap, when it's supposed to fall into my lap, I'm ready. And the interesting thing is that, and as you're learning, as you know, as we've all witnessed, it happens instantaneously. The only, we already have everything available to us. We don't see it. But when and I'm going to say but, Kassira, because I'm going to say that we just simply have our eyes closed or preoccupied. Now, when we release our occupation of preoccupation of whatever's going on in the world, the neighbors, the this, that, our own physical body, the outfit we're wearing, whatever. When we say, "Oh, everything's right, just like it is," what do I? And you just look, then suddenly these things pop. You open your lap because it's going to fall right in.
Aaron, you're probably Aaron. Just so you guys know, Aaron and I have known each other for 30 something years. Aaron is one of the most stable, steady people I know. Aaron has been running a doctor's office in Beverly Hills, which is huge, for how many years, Aaron?
Well, I can't say I run it by myself. There's
come on.
20 years. Say 20 years. I will.
Come on, just give yourself some cred. Okay.
Takes a village. Takes a team.
No, but it's been a long time, and and he is so solid. This man is so solid, and while I'm out there exploring like Lewis and Clark, he has stood by what he does for over 20 years. And so when I ask you, what are your awakenings this winter, and what are you looking at in the spring? Give me what you got.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're also one of the most organized people I know, just so you know.
Oh, and that's funny because I'm definitely not. I
reorganize. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, you
and see, that's the key. Is you got to reorganize all the time.
But you don't know about. They don't know about your boutique, which we won't talk about. But yet you are.
Okay. There's that. Okay. So the boutique is a little storage shed. It's a storage facility where I keep things and cycle things out, and
rows and shelves.
Yes. Like a boutique.
So you know where everything is.
Yeah.
That's why we call it his boutique. He literally goes to the storage room, which is like beyond organized, and shops.
Yeah. It's so much fun that way.
That's just so incredible to me.
I did it to make it fun. And see, that's where we are right now.
Aaron, is this for your benefit, or do other people experience this boutique as well?
No, it's just for his benefit.
It's just for me. It's
for his happiness and organization. And it just blows my mind. I can barely go buy toilet paper some days. And this man has a boutique.
Yeah, if I see something on sale.
It's organized. Like in shelves and stuff. And the deodorant's here, and this is here, and that's
I walk in there, it takes 2 minutes to get what I need and walk out.
It blows my mind.
Not moving boxes off of boxes.
Is this a part of your house, or is this
No,
it's in a storage.
I have to drive about 20 minutes to get there. So while
I'm
driving 20 minutes to get there, I'm talking to somebody on the phone, or I'm listening to one of my favorite podcasts,
or talking to me.
I'm talking to talking Kassira off the bridge. No, I'm boosting her up and letting her. It's fun time. It's me time. I get to enjoy my car. I get to enjoy the beautiful. He's got
a gorgeous vehicle. We're not going to go into that, but he's got a beautiful, expensive vehicle.
So,
yes.
Well, do you mind if I ask a few questions about it? Because
go for it.
This is very fascinating to me. How did the idea for this come along? And it sounds to me, from where I'm sitting, just hearing this and knowing you the way I know you, virtually, is that it's almost as if it's a spiritual journey to get there and back. With the way that you've created us. I think of every day for myself as a meditation. It's a meditation in terms of the choices I make, the decisions I make, and as I move through everything. And I am just curious as to how this came along, and if there are ways that you could take these ideas and give them to a wider audience so that other people experience the bliss that you've created with this.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a 1-hour class and then boom,
Right.
done.
Yeah. But I will tell you this. That it was an evolution from a tiny little storage room where I just needed to put a few things, and it was very cheap. Then they went up in price, and then they went out of business, and I had to move to a different storage room, and they were very fancy and very clean. And I thought, wow, this is like the Ritz Hotel of storage rooms.
Wow.
And then they went overpriced, so I decided, well, I like the idea of having stuff not under my feet, and having it in a very safe place and not having to worry about it, and so when I had to get the new storage room, I got the proper size. I bought the shelving to put in there, bought all the different kinds of storage units, and organized it from scratch.
So impressive.
Just like a boutique, just like a store, just like a little marketplace. And it makes it fun to go there. It makes it really fun. Now, of course, that's
why I call it his boutique.
The boutique.
I gave it that name.
Rumor has it that Barbara Streisand does the same thing.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, but she probably has the storage rooms on her property. I mean, she's got how many acres? 20? I don't know.
Well, she has a mall underneath her house. Do you
yes,
know this?
that's good Lord.
No, it's true.
But that, in case there's a nuclear holocaust, she can just go right under there and just live forever. I mean, think about that.
I mean, she's a collector, and each room is devoted to the things that she collects.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Anyway, go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's an idea.
You're going to build a bunker under your condo? Okay.
No, just a different home for different collections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what are your plans for spring, Aaron? What are your plans awakening in the winter and the snow melting? What are your plans for spring?
Here's
the thing. You know why I ask you this? Aaron and I both work in the medical industry in different ways. He's kind of behind the scenes, running levels of medical care. I'm in the front lines. We recently discussed the fact that I take care of people, hundreds of people every day. And I have found myself overcommitted and exhausted. So by the time I have taken care of all these people every day, I come home and I just physically and energetically can't get anything else done. There's just no more energy left. You, however, work on the back end of it. You're not as inundated with other people's energy all day long. And Dee, I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm inundated with people's energy all day long. You are only inundated. Well, that's not true, Aaron. I'm sorry. You're inundated with the whole office, which is big, and other people that call you all day long and bitch and complain. How do you have enough energy to get things done and go to your boutique and get all these other things done after a day's work? And I'm talking about this in the midst of us melting away in that snow moon energy and going into spring.
Yeah. So the end of the day is always a new opportunity for me. It's not the end of the day where, okay, life ends. No, for me, it's usually like, okay, now I have some freedom to move around and move around in the cabin freely. And I can really, if I have something that I want to do that requires me to be by myself, that's my opportunity in the office to run around, get it all done quickly, without.
But it's constant, and it's constant.
So that goes on. There are a lot of things that I can get back to the other question that you had about what I have coming up, and one of the things that next week is Conscious Life Expo, which is a huge event in Los Angeles at the LAX Hilton every year in February. I've been going to that event for 23 years now, I think with the exception of 1 or 2 years. And that's where, if you look up Conscious Life Expo 2023, you'll see a huge list of all all of our favorite mystics and psychics and
Mhm.
intuitives and conspiracy theorists and UFO hunters and all of that, and they all gather in that place at that time. And usually that's the melt for me. That's where I go and I get completely rejuvenated. In fact, people from my office say, "Aaron, Conscious Life Expo is coming up. You're going to go. You're getting ready." I'm surprised sometimes to hear the people that are excited about that with me. They see that it
Mhm.
feeds me going forward. This is like this
Mhm.
Leo moon energy for me, and it's next weekend. This literally sometimes I don't know what's going to happen the next part of the year until I go to this event and I see
Yeah.
the collective has been working on. And when I see what the collective has been working on, it fuels my excitement. It validates me in a lot of ways. It supports my inner, just uh, from there, I can say, oh, I hadn't thought of this. Sedona would be good. Let's go to this place or that place, join up with these people, try these new techniques. That's my boiling pot. That's where everything kind of comes in, bubbles up, and gets me my cauldron. We'll call it a cauldron.
Yeah, and having known you for many years, I know that once a year, this is it's your generator.
Yeah.
It's your battery recharger.
Hmm.
You get so much energy and knowledge and just love from everybody there that it lasts you for a damn near year.
Yeah,
Like
it does.
you get that energy for a darn
Hmm.
near year.
Yep.
Would you
It
say that?
really.
So the last time you went to the expo,
Hmm.
concern like as we're talking about the full moon and the snow melting and inner awakening and going into spring, what would you say was your most pivotal moment in the last Life Expo? There
Well,
were a
let's
lot of them,
see.
but I don't know how you're going to pick one. But I'm just asking.
No. Um, let's. Wow. There's so many. I'll give you one example, and this happened about 10 years ago. I was the event is huge. It's in a big hotel, and they take over a lot of different spaces. And so I'm wandering around the hotel between lectures and thinking, no, I'm going to let the universe guide me. This is when I can really
Mm-hmm,
test my intuition. I have other friends now. We
mm-hmm,
do it together. We practice telepathy together at this event. We practice like dimensional shift. I mean, it's the wildest thing, and it sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud, but it
no, it
happens. And
does.
so
Why would you say that? No, it doesn't.
because
It
I'm
doesn't.
validating the
No.
way I feel about it sometimes
Oh,
when I look around and say, did anybody see that with me? And they say, yes. What was that? So that's, and
yeah,
I fortunately have a lot of witnesses to these events, and we talk about it regularly. So I have to remind myself, no, you're not crazy.
yeah,
This stuff goes on.
yeah.
Um, but
Is there any significance, Aaron, on the
mhm.
time that this happens every year?
Uh-huh.
Never looked it up, but I will now.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it's next
I've gotten some
weekend.
emails about it. Yeah.
Next weekend, all weekend long at this, and there are so many people there, and you know,
Uh-huh.
there was one event. Let me tell you about the one. So I was wandering between lectures. At the end of the hallway, I heard one of the lecturers was still answering questions from the audience. So I was like, okay, well, I'm here. He's there. That means this is meant to be. So I walked up and I squeezed into this crowd of people at the end of this big hallway, listening to this guy lecture. And people were throwing questions at him. He was answering. He was giving mathematical.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Nassim Haramein. I don't know if we know him,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
wow, I became a fan, and ever since. So it was pivotal because I thought, wow, this following the heart, following and seeing what lights up our sensory system in the moment that we say, okay, heart, where do you want to go? Then
Mm-hmm.
what lights up in the room, and then going for it. It was complete validation of that, complete and total validation that that this energy is there. And when I talk to other people, they say, yeah, I did that too, and I discovered this stuff along the way. And so
Mm-hmm.
we've kind of made a little bit of a community of friends that we only meet there once a year. And
But you also know, and I'm not going to say how, But you also know the gentleman from England who is an angel
Mhm.
worker who we have
Same
approached
thing.
before.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, whoa. You asked me real quick. We have Stuart Pierce. Yes.
Yes, Stuart Pierce.
Oh.
We discussed him. I did contact him. His assistant is not the brightest bulb in the box. I'm just going to say it out loud.
Oh.
I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
But Stuart Smith he's amazing. He's amazing.
Stuart Pierce. Yeah.
And I would love to
Absolutely.
have him on one of my shows. Yeah, he's amazing. He's angelic, yet he's also just an empath and just out there, just a universally connected person.
He's of the theater community too. I believe it was the Globe Theater in England, and so really remarkable.
Alan, you said, Kassira, being an empath can be inevitably exhausting. Oh, really? Richard and Danielle are also simpatico and divinely yes. There's many of us in this group that are, and so is Cherie. And here's the deal. It's not the fact that we are, it's what we do with it.
Right.
And we all have our different personalities in this lifetime, yet, what do we do with it? Are we assisting other people with it? Are we taking it and running with it? Are we hiding it? And I think that's a really good thing to think about right now as the snow is melting and we're coming out into blooming into spring again. How are we going to gift that to the world? How are we going to gift that to the world? Aaron gifts this to me several times a week because we're good friends. He is so generous. Well, I am too, though. Aren't I, Aaron?
Yeah.
I am too. We talk about what's going on in our lives, and we, put that out there to each other, and we feed each other with that stuff. And, what I'd like to know from everybody that's watching is I'd like for you guys to comment, everybody, Natasha, Alan, Dee, Cherie, everybody that's watching, Francis, how are you going to gift your spiritual gifts as the snow melts and the spring comes and everything is blooming? And so Cherie says, lead by example. Thank you, Cherie. That's a beautiful, beautiful answer. Richard, how would you like to reply to that?
Well, it's interesting. There's a thought that's going through my head as I think about this. Today is National Monarch Day, and it's about the monarch butterfly. And this morning I turned on the end of CBS Sunday Morning, and they were showing the monarchs, and how they are actually coming back. They were disappearing for a while, but they seem to be flourishing again. And I think, I think of this as a metamorphosis time. Also, I mean, we're all going to be coming out of our cocoons. We're going to be going out to the world. And something else that's interesting about all of this, also, it's been announced this week that they are lifting all of the COVID restrictions completely in May, for better or for worse. But that is happening, and there's been a lot of studies recently about children and how they really have been affected by COVID because of the learning at home situation and not interacting with other people. I think that there is this interconnectedness that we all have, and it's very, very important that we learn to let go of the things that are holding us back, and that we do emerge out in the world. Easter is rebirth, and and everything that's coming along with that. And I really think that it's time that we all acknowledge that, staying away from certain things that may be holding you back. Hiding behind a computer screen. It's great that we can do this, but get out there amongst the people. That's why and also I'm thinking about being in front of a live audience again, which is exhilarating to me, and it's thrilling to me because it's the other night I was watching a documentary about Shirley Bassey, and I was seeing the sheer abandon that she had when she was on stage in front of an audience. It's obvious how much joy and love is in what she does. And she gave and gave and gave to her audiences. And that's really where I am. I perhaps everything that I've gone through in the last few years and doing this and hiding behind, or not hiding, but being on this side of a camera instead of being out there. So this idea of getting back into the world is very exciting to me as we go.
And so, and I totally appreciate that. And I'm really proud of you for taking a step out and being on the stage again, Richard. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of planning. And it also takes a lot of you're co-creating with a lot of other people. And let's just all pray that everybody cooperates, shall we?
Yeah.
So Aaron Caleb says, staying away from negativity, especially not saying something negative, even if I am thinking it. Yes, Aaron, we don't have to state everything we're thinking. That's a good idea. Just putting positivity out there in the world. Dee says, who I love, my Dee, showing up for my growing communities and clients in new and wonderful ways.
And there's the butterfly.
And elaborate on that, please, ma'am. Alan says, Danielle, a long magical procession of monarch butterflies floated by my former hilltop home years ago. Oh, I bet that was just, oh, wow, what a magical moment that must have been. I would have been burning incense and dancing around a campfire. Natasha, I love Dame Shirley Bassey. Yes, absolutely. We all love Shirley Bassey. So proud of you, Richard. Oh, Natasha, you're so sweet. For some reason, so I used to perform in this show in Dallas. It happens every year we established a new Guinness Book of World Record for the largest show with people 55 and over in it. And it's called the Spectacular Follies in Dallas. I did the 10th anniversary and I performed as Liza Minnelli. Yes, I do a Liza Minnelli. So I thought, oh, well, the next time I do it, we do this section with a big band where we each, there's a few of us that perform as specific stars. My next goal is Vicky Carr. From 1967, It's Not Him. I feel this weird. Everybody loves that song and nobody's ever sung it, but I have the voice for it. So this came to me the other day. Okay, and here's the beautiful thing about this show. They rent out a huge theater and they do 5 shows. And here's what's beautiful about it. A lot of young people come, and a lot of theater people come from Dallas, but there's a lot of people 55 and over from assisted living, from other homes that come, and it really encourages them because we have people in the show that are in their 80s and possibly 90s, and it's really inspiring. And I don't know why I just wanted to tell you guys that, but I have had this feeling yesterday that I must sing Vicky Carr's It Must Be Him. Why? Because I can. Because I can. And I want to.
That's the reason.
I want to start really, as a 61-year-old, I really want to start really inspiring people 60 and over. Going forward, your life is not over because you're in your 60s.
That's right.
Aaron, it's coming up.
In fact, I was
Aaron,
having a conversation with a friend. Well, I'm getting there. I'm not 60 yet, but whoops, close.
You're there. You're almost there.
Might as well be. Yeah. But somebody was asking me, wow, we had a conversation about fears and age. And I said, you know what? You don't even have access to your own personal magic and with knowledge of it, until you're about mid-50s. And so then it takes a few years until you get into your 60s before you can actually start practicing it. And then, so you're at the mastery stage. It's easy to give back. And sometimes people feel like, I didn't really do anything. I said, well, just standing here, you're emitting this magic from you, this energy of knowledge and wisdom and experience and whatever you've learned along the way, all these kind of things, just by standing there. just by standing there. So just be present, be alive, take care of yourself, do the basics, and keep it going. Just and just like you said, sing the song just because you can.
Being and sharing. So on that note, I'd like to make sure that all of you that are watching are friends with me on Facebook. I know I've been threatening for weeks to do a Let That Go show, but what I'm going to do is a new Kassira McKee channel show where we do lots of things. I have a lot of artist friends that I'll interview. We will continue to do the full moon show with Richard because he's so much fun. I hate it that he's not doing the Let That Go show with me anymore. I'm having feelings about it, which we'll talk about. Because I love him being on the show with us because he has so much to add. Aaron will always be with us on the full moon show. And I will also start doing readings with Aaron because I'm also a reader. I do cards and I'm also a reader. Yet, if you are not friends with me on Facebook, please send me a friend request. I will miss Richard. I'm going to cry. I will miss Richard being on this show.
No, don't.
On my Let That Go show because I love him.
I love you.
And I have to say that I'm very disappointed that he's not going to do it with us anymore. But because he's so amazing and I love him.
Well,
and I know you guys love him too.
Thank you. I truly believe with my very solar plexus that it's time for you to soar.
Yeah, I know, but I will miss your contribution.
Well, I'm going to be behind the scenes. I'm going to help you learn this and get out there. So it's all positive.
So that's how much you know I love Richard.
Thank you.
By the way, crying is the healthiest thing you can do, in that, you know, that expression of your emotion is the most.
So if you're not friends with me, please friend me on Facebook. I'm starting a new page. I'm going to start all over again so we can do all these shows together. These different shows that I do.
And we're not leaving you. No one's leaving you. So
well, I feel like you're leaving me.
We're opening new doors for you.
Okay. For you. Why don't we do, Aaron? Do you have your singing bowl?
Of course.
Why don't we have Aaron lead a meditation for us?
And by the way, this is a big one. You said it seems small, but next to my head, I could almost wear it as a hat.
I have a 9-inch bell. I have this huge bell that would just totally overpower everything. So I'm going to let you do it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and start and stop. I'm going to keep playing and having fun. And we're going to put this into the singing bowls. Okay. So
everybody, can I ask you a question, you guys? Will you be willing to just stop talking to each other? Please. Cherie, Natasha, Aaron, Dee, Alan, everybody that's watching, can you just stop talking to each other? This is the last meditation we're going to do with Richard.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, well, okay.
Last one today, but
all right, well, okay. And just listen to Aaron and just vibe out and just please don't talk to each other. Just chill out and just hear what Aaron has to say.
I'm going to remind everyone to breathe deeply and slowly and enjoy the feeling of the air going into your lungs, filling you up. And then enjoy the sensation of exhaling. That which was inside is now out. And breathe in again. Enjoy. Love it. And exhale it out. And when we breathe in again, we breathe directly into our heart space. And we see it filling with light and opening our space. And this heart-filled breath, go ahead and exhale And we exhale that breath into our physical space around us. When we breathe in again, let's see a beautiful iridescent golden sparkly light in front of us that is filled with joy. Go ahead and breathe that in.
That's the higher consciousness. That's the higher consciousness vibe. Yeah.
Yes. Joy. And exhale this brand new energy out into your physical space. This brand new perspective is now in your physical space. Continue breathing and enjoying this new energy. It's new, so it might surprise you. It's new, so it doesn't have definition. It's new, so it's unpredictable. Enjoy that. Let your inner child or your inner being interact with this new energy that you have just created. Remind yourself that you get to see this right now for the first time. Remind yourself that you don't need to control anything right now, because all you see around you is the love and the acceptance and the joy of this newness. Let this newness communicate new ideas to you right now. And inhale those new ideas deep into your physical body. I have new well-being. I have new physical strength. I have new health. It is new. It is fresh. It is unpredictable. It is revitalizing. And it is morning right now. See the freedom of this new joy that is bouncing around you. Feel the freedom of this new joy as it swirls around you. Allow your own heart to open to this freedom. Do it now. You don't need to hold on to this freedom because it is now who you are. You don't need to manage this freedom because it is not separate from you. You are one with this joy, this newness. You are whole and complete and free right here and right now. See it in your mind's eye. Go ahead and see it clearly. Breathe deeply in through your nose and feel your lungs fill with newness. And exhale newness into your environment. Feel this newness in all parts of your body. If we have pain or suffering or discomfort of any kind, let this newness freely travel into these areas of our body. And now we hold the space for our group, that we see each one of our group individually and collectively with this newness, this vitality, that we can only imagine and cannot name. And we see ourselves in this group also receiving the healing frequencies of everyone else in our group. We know that wellness is what is intended, and we accept it. We know that wholeness is what is intended, and we accept it. We know that joy and community and sharing is what is intended, and we accept it right here and right now.